You might not know it, but each of these beautiful homes shares a common problem: improper attic ventilation. Without proper ventilation, excessive heat and moisture can build up in an attic, causing an assortment of potentially costly and unhealthy problems: mold and mildew growth, poor indoor air quality, dry rot, delaminating roof sheathing, premature shingle failure, structural and water damage from ice dams. These are just some of the problems that can be avoided by properly ventilating an attic. But not all attic ventilation works as well as others. Choose the attic ventilation solutions from AirVent and go with the proven performance leader. To avoid problems with a home's attic and roof, an attic ventilation system must do two things: remove heat from the attic in the summer and remove moisture from it in the winter. Balance is the key to success. The amount of intake ventilation must equal or exceed the amount of exhaust ventilation. A balanced attic ventilation system helps to fight heat buildup in the summer, which helps to improve the comfort level in the living spaces below. This, in turn, can help reduce utility bills because it lightens the load on the air conditioner, the refrigerator, and fans. Lower attic temperatures also help to prevent premature shingle deterioration. A balanced attic ventilation system can also help fight moisture buildup in the attic in the winter. Warm, moist household air rises up into the attic. If not vented out, excessive moisture can lower the R value of some insulation, making it less effective. A balanced attic ventilation system also helps to keep the roof deck more uniformly cool in the winter. This helps to fight ice dams that typically can occur in colder climates. Besides being unsightly, ice dams can damage gutters and shingles and can stain interior walls. Finally, building code and shingle manufacturer warranties both call for proper attic ventilation. In fact, proper attic ventilation is required to validate the full terms of the warranty coverage for most roofing shingle manufacturers. For optimum attic ventilation for today's tighter built, tighter remodeled homes that utilize more efficient building materials, AirVent recommends exceeding minimum building codes. AirVent recommends 1 square foot of net-free area for every 150 square feet of attic floor space, with half the ventilation represented by intake vents and half by exhaust vents. Clearly, a properly ventilated attic is vital. Choosing the right attic ventilation products, though, is just as critical. There are a variety of exhaust vents: roof louvers, gable louvers, wind turbines, and power vents. But when it comes to performance and appearance, nothing can beat a ridge vent. Ridge vents provide a continuous flow of evenly distributed air along the underside of the entire roof deck because they're installed along the entire ridge. Other exhaust vents cannot do this. And when installed end-to-end on a roof, ridge vents blend in with the ridge line, making them nearly invisible from the ground, unlike other types of vents which can look like a noticeable add-on. Not all ridge vents perform the same, however. Only ridge vents with an external baffle provide increased airflow performance due to the Bernoulli principle. As wind blows against the external baffle, it is deflected up and over the vent, creating low pressure that pulls air out of the attic. It's the same principle that allows airplanes to fly. Ridge vents with an external baffle also offer an added benefit: increased weather protection. The baffle deflects wind, debris, rain, and snow up and over the ridge vent, away from the attic. Some ridge vents also feature an internal weather filter that acts as a secondary level of protection against weather infiltration in harsh winter climates. This internal filter also helps protect against dust and insect intrusion. AirVent's Shingle Vent 2 ridge vent has both an external baffle and an internal weather filter, offering superior performance to other style ridge vents. Shingle Vent 2 has been thoroughly studied by independent testing laboratories, comparing it to other ridge vents. In test after test, Shingle Vent 2 has come out on top, proving its superior ability to reduce attic heat buildup. protect against water infiltration, and minimize dust buildup over time, all the while providing superior exhaust airflow performance. What about cut-up roofs with little or no horizontal ridges, such as hip roofs? AirVent has the solution, the Hip Ridge Vent. Hip Ridge Vent includes all the aesthetic and airflow benefits of Shingle Vent 2, but is designed for installation along the hip of the roof. It's an alternative to power fans. In addition to external baffles and an internal weather filter, Hip Ridge Vent features integrated rain diverters and gaskets, providing multi-level protection against rain infiltration. In fact, Hip Ridge Vent is Miami-Dade County approved, meaning that it has been tested to withstand heavy wind-blown rains of up to 110 miles per hour. For exhaust vents to work properly, the attic needs an equal amount or greater of intake ventilation. AirVent offers both a continuous soffit vent as well as sectional under-eave vents that can be installed in the eaves or soffit area to provide the proper amount of intake ventilation for an attic. AirVent has a rooftop installed intake vent, the Edge Vent, that eliminates working overhead with soffits and under eaves. It can be used for all homes with or without overhangs. The Edge Vent gives the roofing contractor complete control over intake and exhaust vents. He no longer has to depend on the framer or the siding installer for intake vents. And in situations where there are existing soffit or eave vents, but more intake ventilation is needed, the Edge Vent can be used in conjunction with the existing vents to help improve the overall intake ventilation system. More intake ventilation is better, even when it totals more than the exhaust ventilation. The Edge Vent provides 9 square inches of net-free area per linear foot that perfectly balances with the 18 square inches of net-free area provided by AirVent's Shingle Vent 2 and Venturi Vent Plus ridge vents. The Edge Vent can be used with confidence in all climates. Its patented internal baffles and drainage system, along with an internal weather filter, provides 3 levels of weather protection. So, just how well does a balanced ventilation system help to cool an attic? Recently, thermal imaging was taken of an unbalanced attic during a day in which the outside temperature reached 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Thermal imaging was taken again following the installation of a balanced attic ventilation system, including the Edge Vent, on the same home during a day with similar temperatures. The results are impressive. In the unbalanced attic, temperatures reached 123 degrees. After a balanced system of ventilation was installed, that same attic dropped to 113 degrees. Prior to the balanced system, electricity usage was 130 kilowatt hours. After installing the balanced attic ventilation system, the electricity usage dropped to 104 kilowatt hours. This clearly illustrates the benefits of having AirVent's balanced attic ventilation system.
We went out to the house and we collected temperature data in the attic and inside the house. We collected hundreds of thermographic images. We collected these same data points after the AirVent balanced ventilation system was installed in the home. The results of our testing clearly showed that not only was the temperature of the air inside the attic reduced, but the temperature of the roof deck materials was reduced. The temperature of building materials inside the house was also reduced. The results of our testing clearly showed that the AirVent balanced ventilation system resulted in demonstrated energy savings.
AirVent continues to be on the leading edge, providing innovations like the Edge Vent and Hip Ridge Vent. For a balanced attic ventilation system that works, trust AirVent products for beautiful looks and proven performance.